now entering the Horror Sanctum.
Hello, and welcome back to the Horror Sanctum podcast. I'm Jay with John, Kellen, and TJ. And today we're going to be bouncing around a franchise again, which is not my favorite thing, but we got to stay current, right? So we're going to be talking about the latest Scream installment. If you're keeping track at home, that's number 7, directed by Kevin Williamson. When a new Ghostface killer emerges in the quiet town where Sidney has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, she must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. This movie came out in February. It's still new, it's still fresh. So you've been here before, you know how this works. Spoilers.
Spoilers aplenty. Scream 7 2026. We just keep getting gifted with franchises that never die. 31% on Rotten Tomatoes. And for me, I don't think that's fair. I enjoyed this, and I know that a lot of people didn't. I read the reviews, I read the comments on Instagram and different things. I tend to, with movies like this, I tend to make it a point to stay away from previews, from Reddit threads where people speculate based on pictures because we're so inundated with information now. Like people have set photos, like all the Marvel movies are like, oh, I saw so and so on set because they might have been behind a wall, but somebody flew a drone up and took a picture of Captain America in the new whatever movie. Um, so I try to stay away from all that because for me, the fun of it is to be surprised. I like to go into these kind of movies, especially movies that spark my interest or have a history. And I wanted to go into this completely blind. I knew that Matthew Lillard was tied to it. That was impossible to miss. If you lived in the United States, you knew that Matthew Lillard was tied to this film. I mean, does it Entertainment Tonight, CBS Evening News? Everybody at some point was just like, "Oh, by the way, Matthew Lillard's going to be in Screen 7." So it was impossible to get away from it. And he's having a kind of a little career resurgence right now, being in Cross, which if you don't watch that, fantastic crime drama show. But in that, and then he's in this as well. And
He's also in the new season of Daredevil.
there you go. So
So
yeah,
he
so
works for, if you're familiar with the Marvel franchise, he works for the girl from Seinfeld.
Elaine, like Julie Lee Dreyfus.
Oh,
Julie
The
Louis-Dreyfus?
Lady, Fontessa
Yeah,
something.
yeah, he works for her in Daredevil, which is fucking fantastic. Sorry.
No, no problem.
Also, his metallic teddy bear man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah. But yeah, he's and he's the only reason I don't think he's bigger than he is because of his voice. Is even when he's trying to be brooding, he just sounds funny. Like, and I don't mean like he sounds funny. I mean he just sounds like he's making a joke. Like even if he's like, "I'm about to murder you," that voice is just like, "Stop." But he's great in this, and I think for me, and like I said, I knew he was going to be in it, and I kept thinking back to the first movie, and I was like, how are they going to bring him back? Like they very obviously killed him to death, like from the TV falling on his head, and even before that, having him stab and him feeling woozy, like he's obviously lost enough blood for that to be the final fatal blow. But then they made sure he was super dead. So bringing him back the way they did in the age of AI, I think it was super smart because it gave people a glimpse of what they want without rewriting the history of Scream. All that to say, Matthew Lillard said in an interview that he thought they did a good job of leaving it open that he could come back. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, they're right. Because what would leave people to think that's what he's going to look like unless they had a reference? So I could imagine, and this is just speculation before I actually get into my full review. This is speculation. I think they have the chance to do one of the most meta, brilliant things ever. So Scream 8, no Matthew Lillard. We get one more random psycho killer. And then at the end, in a post-credit scene, you find out that Matthew Lillard has been watching and he goes, "Fine, I'll do it myself." Boom. And then you go in knowing he's the killer in Scream 9. I think that would be just a fun little aside, like the Thanos of the Scream universe is Matthew Lillard coming back. And
But
it
that
would explain
somehow he was pulling all the strings throughout all 8 films.
possibly you could possibly do that, but I think just more recently, like with the seven, because you do have him with the scars on his face. Like, how did they like all the AI stuff right now is just screen mirroring, right? Like they face wrap another person's face on somebody. So what was the reference for him to have the scars and the beard and for him to look like he should look in his 50s
They
after
do
having
have
a
the
TV fall on
photo.
his head?
They do have the photo aging apps, though. I aged myself on some
Did
photo
you age with
thing.
scars, TJ? Did you age
No,
with scars from a TV? No.
no.
That's what I'm saying. Like they just he looked like he had been mashed up at some point. And I think that would be a good way to officially bring him back. And you could even have like a flashback. Now that AI has gotten so good at mimicking people, you could even go back to that scene where, she stabs what's his name, Skeet Ulrich with the umbrella, and during all that stuff, like he's slinking off and running, going off into the wilderness or something. Anyway, I do think they left a possibility of bringing him back because of that. Um, this one, I I saw a lot of people say that six was better than this, and they can all rot in hell. Six was god awful for a Scream franchise. I'm sorry. It was so bad. They went too much into the goofiness. They went too much with almost like and the killer reveal was dumb. Like that was some of the worst acting between Hayden Panettiere and then the dad and the two kids at the end of that. They were, by the way, we're a family of murderers. Shut up. Nobody. That's stupid. Stupid. It's dumb. That's dumb. That's the dumb. That's a New Girl reference if anybody got that. But six was awful. Six. I'm glad that they didn't go in that direction again. I'm glad they went back to Sydney. I enjoyed this a lot. I get that part of it's a mess. I get that it's not, as fleshed out as it should have been. I get that there's parts of it that are kind of wonky, but as far as just a slasher film, it was fun for me. It was fun to see some of the interesting kills. It was fun to see McKenna Grace hanging and sliding and then seeing Ghostface kind of look inquisitive, like, oh, here's an opportunity, and then just holds the knife there and basically lets her kill herself. Um, the tap, that was a callback to what was My Bloody
My
Valentine.
Bloody Valentine with the shower.
Yeah, that I thought that was a neat little, even if it wasn't meant to be, I can't imagine that it wasn't because it so closely mimics that. I thought that was a neat little thing. And it really did a good job of showing how crazy these people were because that's her son. And even if it wasn't her, she was totally fine with him being dead because she was crazy. And Anna Camp, God bless her, she plays crazy better than almost anyone in Hollywood. As far as when she turns that on, you really believe that Anna Camp is a batshit crazy woman. like she's capable of doing that. I think the stalker obsessive thing worked for me. The orderly could have done without that, but obviously she needed somebody to kind of help her. And it makes sense, pretty woman that's crazy convinces, an average looking orderly to help her murder people. He didn't have anything else going on. He's a 50-year-old orderly in a mental hospital in the middle of nowhere. Like, this is probably the highlight of his life was murdering people. But I just had fun with it. I watched it in the theater with my whole family. My wife is a big Scream fan. The first one, and then it's one of those movies like I talked about before that we watch every year, or at least she does with the girls. I don't watch it as much. And not that it doesn't have the rewatchability. I just usually use that time for me to go, watch YouTube videos or piddle in the yard, do me stuff while they veg out and watch the original Scream. But this was just a fun movie. I didn't go in expecting anything. I didn't go in wanting anything from it. I just wanted to be entertained. And as far as that goes, I'm not going to rate it super high because, like I said, I get that there's parts of it that are just that leave you wanting. I get that they kind of played with people emotionally by having Matthew Lillard come back, but then he doesn't really come back. But as far as like entertainment, we all left the movie and enjoyed it. And that's a lot to say for my oldest daughter because she hates everything. every horror movie I've tried to introduce her to, she's like, "It's stupid. I was bored." I tried to introduce her to Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She left halfway through to go use the bathroom and spent 40 minutes in the bathroom just so she could avoid having to watch the rest of the movie. And I literally looked at what the oldest you can put somebody up for adoption was.
I was going to say, yeah, she needs to be out of that house now.
Yeah, so 17, a little too old to put somebody up for adoption. But I could have got her her hardship papers and let her just live on. But no, it's okay. We don't all have great taste. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I had fun.
It took 7 movies for me to hate this fucking franchise. It took 7 movies for me to
I
fucking
thought you
hate this
hated the
franchise.
6th one.
Oh man, it's really funny. I would think so, but I will say the first thing, Kellen, what you said about Stu, that idea, that is a good idea. I think you're giving them way too much credit. They're not that smart. First off, they don't give a fuck. That's the first thing I think. They don't care what we want or think. They've proven that over the past like 4 movies. They just want to basically listen to what fans want and basically say, "Fuck you, you're nerds. We're going to do what we want." The first thing that proves that in this movie is they have been asking for Stu Macher forever. He was even written into Scream 3 as the original killer. And so what do? They bring back the original writer. They have this idea and they're just like, "No, we're just going to do AI just because AI's, not that AI is not talked enough now, not that it's not fucking everywhere all the time and already played out. They just talk about it all the time. But they do AI and they're just like, screw the fans." And I get it. You don't want to give the fans what they want always. But this is one of those scenarios where if you're going to acknowledge something this much and not pay it off, at that point, you're just trolling people, And they've proven to me over and over again that they don't care. Like, I would be glad to see them make one and bring Stu back, but there's like no confidence in me they'll ever do that. That's just not the way they operate as studios anymore. The first thing I'll say is, besides the fact that it sucks, this movie sucks ass, it's like terrible, is the camera work is good and it does look very nice. It looks like a Scream movie. The music is good. Tatum, Sidney's daughter, is a good actress. That actress, Sidney, she does really good in it. The acting is fine. I didn't mind the acting. The opening of the movie is actually very good. And I really should have stopped watching after the opening because the opening is actually felt more like a Scream movie. And it actually was pretty cool the way they did it and the whole like Airbnb thing. And I feel like, honestly, if I had just watched that clip and stopped the movie and I just was like, and someone was like, "You can never watch the rest of Scream 7. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, from what I saw, it's cool." I would be happier as a human being. But unfortunately, I had to watch the other hour and 15 minutes of this abominable piece of shit. So, yeah, I just don't care about any of the characters in this movie. The blonde girl, McKenna Grace, I mean, she's a good actress. I don't know what it is. All those blonde girls just run the same to me. There's so many of them. There's like 5 or 6 of them, I swear, and they're all in different movies now. And they don't look exactly the same, but there's just something that mixes them together in my head. I don't know why. Maybe someone listening can agree with that, but I don't know what it is. I get it. It's nostalgia. You can add in Red Right Hand. You can add in Marco Beltrami, all this stuff. The story just doesn't work. The CGI is terrible in this movie. The ending scene where, spoilers, they shoot Pitch Perfect in the face and blow her face off is terrible. It is terrible CGI. Horrible. We're about to cover another movie that the CGI, it's like 20 years older, and the CGI is a million times better. And the practical effects is a million times better than this. It's horrible. And, when they set up Stu in this movie, Matthew Lillard is fine in the scenes he's in. I know a lot of people watch the AI scenes and they think, some people were saying that the first scene where he's outside the school, they're like, "Oh, well, that's really Stu. The other scenes are AI, but that was really Stu." It's like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was Kevin Williamson writing this in, trying to be clever, because that's what Hollywood does. They take a topical thing like AI and they try to force it down everybody like it's the same shit we always hear with these movies. And there was nothing else outside of that, right? We're hoping for this grand, long plan they have. It's not there. Unfortunately, I just think that's the way they write. And the thing about AI too is they do this technology thing in these movies, and it's always ridiculous. AI doesn't work that way. You cannot. We watch this stuff. AI is not that advanced to be that good with people yet. But you cannot mimic people's faces that good to that level that quickly, especially random ass killers who are not that famous or age them up like that. Hollywood always takes these like little technological things and goes, well, this could happen. No, it can't. It doesn't happen. It can't happen. Read like 5 minutes on the internet. It doesn't happen. Like, I get that like bumfuck person out in nowhere might be like, wow, AI could do that. No,
Well, they've been
that
doing
does
that
not
with the
happen.
voice changer since '96, though.
Yeah, but at least that was a voice changer and it was one. But I mean, and at least what that was like, that is, you're right, that is a suspension of disbelief. But like, how the hell would they age up all those actors? It's silly, you know? Um, and I know the whole thing about Stu is how could he live? Okay, if that's the argument, how the fuck did Chad live? Chad got stabbed like 700 times in the past two movies, and he got shot. But somehow him and Mindy come in for their stupid cameo with Gail Weathers. It's like, if we're talking realism, this thing was unrealistic after the first movie. So don't tell me Stu can't come back from a fucking TV falling on his head. It's not unrealistic. It's just they don't want to do it, you know? Um, Joel McHale as Mark, he's a good actor, but he did not fit this role. I know that that role and that character is not Patrick Dempsey's character. Even though his name is Mark, it's not the same character. I wish they could have got Patrick Dempsey. He would have been better for that. Gale Weathers, the first Avenger, stupid. I didn't need to see Gale Weathers pop in randomly and run over the killer. I mean, what the hell was that? How did she know they were there? What was that? What was that dialogue? What the hell? I mean, Scream has always been really good about being funny and kind of hyper realistic, but they just went all out stupid with some of this stuff in this film. Um, and what's crazy is the stuff that they write in this movie. Let's go to the killer reveal, okay? So the killers are the random mental patient, and then you have bald guy from Can't Hardly Wait, Ethan, whatever, and then you have
Embry.
Ethan Embry, good actor, and then you have Anna Camp, Pitch Perfect, whatever, right? And so he's an attendee or something at a mental institution, and then her husband's abusive to her, so she kills him, and then somehow she is inspired by Sidney Prescott that she has nothing to do with, and then says, I'm going to randomly kill people. Oh, and then I'm going to adopt your daughter after I kill you. What? What the fuck? Am I the only one that watched this and was like, what the fuck are they smoking with this shit? And then she was like, I'm gonna make you watch you're gonna watch your die just like you watch your mom die. And it's like, Sydney never watched Maureen Prescott die. Maureen Prescott died a year before the first Scream. Kevin Williamson wrote this shit and he didn't even remember his fucking writing from 1996. Like, this is the kind of stuff that drives me nuts. It's like they just don't care. They just don't care. They just put these things out. They know people will go to see them, and it doesn't matter. Um, I hate this movie. That's all I can see is I fucking hate it. Everything about it is stupid. The only good thing about it is Tatum, Sydney, and I guess the way it looks. And I'm gonna stop ranting because I'm just gonna get madder and madder, and I don't know what else I can say about this piece of fucking dog shit.
But I like Matter John. Matter John's fun.
I know, but it's just I gotta stop.
He's gonna stroke
Well.
out. We gotta move on.
Well, that was a 1-2 punch. I like this movie. I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of plot holes. It's got a lot of silliness, but you know what? So does every other six Scream movies. There's a lot of silliness. There's a lot of things that don't quite work out in the real world, like my example of the voice changer that doesn't exist in reality and hasn't for 30 years. Maybe they're getting closer to it now, but certainly not 30 years ago when they were first doing this. Yeah, AI is not nowhere nearly as far along as movies in Hollywood, and this film in particular would make you think it is. But Hollywood's been, over projecting on that for 30, 40 years too. So, I mean, everything, I can kind of reconcile all the silliness and just say this is a Hollywoodized, you know, projection of what a Scream movie is supposed to be in 2026, you know. And I'm okay with that for the most part. Oddly enough, one of the things I didn't like the most was Sydney's daughter, Tatum. I didn't think she was
That's
a
my
very good
second
actress.
note. Is she is fucking awful.
I did not think
Oh,
she was
really?
a
You
good
didn't like her?
Yeah,
actress.
I did not like. I don't know. It's not necessarily
Really?
that she's a bad actress. It's just the character she played. I just couldn't stand her.
Oh, she was.
Cringy.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
She was
Yeah,
good at being annoying.
she was
I see
annoying.
what you mean.
I would have preferred the McKenna Grace girl to have played her part because she's a much better actress, I feel like. And I didn't realize until after the film that that was the girl from the last two Ghostbusters movies. That's Egon's granddaughter.
Yep.
I did not see that. She looks totally different now to me. I guess different hair, different character. So she was doing something right. Unfortunately, she died horribly, but it was a memorable death, and that's about all you can hope for as a teenager in a Scream movie these days, you know. Um, yeah, the AI thing, I could roll with it because every Scream, or at least every era of the Screams, tries to do something that is current and like on the cutting edge of technology and whatnot. Like they were using cell phones when that wasn't a regular thing. They were using voice changers. In part four, they started live streaming. So, you know, they were trying to stay ahead of the curve and be current with how a killer would use technology and integrate it in a meta sort of way, making your own film, whatever. And of course, if you made your own film now, you would integrate AI. And the whole idea of a whodunit, which is essentially what all these Scream movies are, it's really the only preservation of the early first wave of slashers that were all basically whodunits. Um, so I can roll with that idea, that the AI misdirection of who it could be, and then she thought it was her boyfriend. Tatum thought it was her boyfriend at a certain point because he was looking into trying to crack the AI, but then she thought he was doing the AI. So, I mean, I like some of the misdirections. Um, the I would say when I saw Ethan Embry, I was like, "Oh, that's Ethan Embry. He's probably one of the killers." Immediately. So
I
that took-
agree. It was
that took me
obvious,
out of
right?
it.
Yeah.
I was like, and because he's been in so many genre and horror films, and usually, you know, he plays a little wackadoo a little bit more than not. I mean, ever since his days of just being the bass player, the nameless bass player in That Thing You Do, one of my favorite movies of all time, directed by Tom Hanks.
Has anybody seen Devil's Candy with him?
I own it, but I've never watched it. I hear it's really good.
It's good. It's dark. It's good though.
Yeah, but he's been in a lot of dark movies. I think he was in one of the Masters of Horror shows back in the day, and
Yeah, it was the something incident on
on a mountain road,
Mountain Road or something like that.
That
yeah.
was the Don Coscarelli one, the
Yeah.
Phantasm guy.
It's
yeah.
a good one.
Yeah, so I mean, he's been around the genre scene for 25 years. So anytime I see him pop up, also, is it just me? But as a bald guy, has he been balding for 30 years and it still just hasn't gone? Like he's just got that top, that front. Like he's had the slowest male pattern baldness progression of all time.
I don't know. He's in Grace and Frankie, and he doesn't look like that. I don't think. Like I don't know if it was just for this movie and he was supposed to look weird like that. I don't know. Is he always been balding?
He's been balding for like 25 years.
Just
He
go
is-
ahead and buzz it
yeah.
off, bud.
Yeah.
He is bald, but it looks like maybe they just made his hair frizzy in this. Maybe it
Yeah.
looks more drastic. I don't know.
I don't know. But as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, that's Ethan Embry. He's like a pretty decent B-level actor, and he's been in a lot of genre films. I bet he's one of the killers. And that to me, that's stunt casting. Or probably more to John's point, it's just people not giving a shit and not really taking care with the storytelling to be like, oh, people are going to know who this guy is. Probably when they cast it, they're like, oh, people aren't going to know who this guy is. Not the people that come to see Scream 7. They'll never see this coming. He's been in like 100 and something movies, Probably that was more of the case. I had recognized the other crazy lady, but I couldn't place where I'd seen her in. I didn't realize she was in the Pitch Perfect movies, which I have seen all those. Um, so I actually didn't think. I was like, I recognize her, but I didn't have enough recollection of her to know or think, oh, she's probably one of the killers. Honestly, I was probably thinking more Joel McHale when I saw him pop up. Maybe he had something to do with something than more than the lady. And for once, I was glad that they did the swerve at the end. Usually, I hate it when they kill a primary character in a film and then wait to the last scene and be like, "Oh, I'm not dead yet," like the knight in Monty Python. I'm not quite dead yet. But I actually appreciate it with Joel McHale because I love Joel McHale and everything. And he has dabbled in recent years in the horror movies. He was in that one.
Becky.
Uh, well, Becky, but I always think of that one that was like, "It's a Wonderful Life." It's a Wonderful Knife.
Wonderful Knife. Yeah,
I saw that in the theater. That's a cute movie.
that was good.
Anywho, this is probably a middle of the road Scream movie for me. It's not in the bottom. It's not in the top three, but it's probably in the middle for me. I would say I probably like it slightly more than six. But what say you, Jay? You're probably somewhere in the middle with me too, I would imagine.
So I saw this in theaters. Jordan and I went and saw it, and it is probably my second to last least favorite Scream movie. I think four is still my least favorite. I know you guys don't like the two with Jenna Ortega, but the one that has the train scene, that train scene alone puts that one over for me. Um,
That is a good scene.
yeah, so, and I love that Scary Movie 6 is paired in that part. That was great. Anyways, I'll start with some of the good things about this movie. I thought the kills were pretty brutal. Um, I don't recall the previous movies being that brutal. Maybe I'm just not remembering them correctly.
No, this was
But
definitely the most brutal kills of
yeah,
any
so even
Scream.
like in the beginning when the girl falls and he flips over and she lands on the knife and then he sets the house on fire, which is my background. That's one of my favorite scenes is the him walking out of the house, but he pours that gas all over her. Fucking brutal. Great opening scene. You kind of knew where it was going. That was my only knock about it. Like, oh, they have an animatronic Ghostface. We know where this is going. It's not going to be animatronic the whole time, right? Like we already said, Tatum was awful in my opinion. I didn't like her character at all. Um, my first knock in the theater when I was watching it, and I remember going like, "Whoa," is when Stu just shows up on the screen all of a sudden. That was so fucking abrupt, like out of nowhere. I hated that so much. I hated it. There was a nurse at work that said she saw it in theaters and you could hear two people talking when he talked. Hearing aids, I'm not going to hear that. But McKenna Grace is fantastic. I hate that she died so quickly. I would have rather her been the daughter as well. That would have been good. I thought these Ghostface there were three. I think they felt more relentless. Like I
Wait,
didn't
which was the
think
third one?
the guy who came into the coffee shop that Gail ran over.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that guy.
Yeah, I felt that these ghost faces were more relentless. There was no room for anybody to breathe in the pursuits. Like, hey, I'm outside the school. Hey, I'm in your fucking house. Hey, we're here. Like, I'm in your small little town, stalking the streets. Like, it was just one thing after another where he was just going and going and going. As soon as you saw Ethan Embry, that's in my notes, you knew. As soon as you see his face, you're like, fuck. Now I already know how this is going to end, at least part of it, right? I never suspected Anna Camp. So bravo on that. But also, didn't make any fucking sense for her to be the one. I fucking hated that so much. Here's what I wanted. Kellen's idea was good. What I would have liked, and is what's been the rumor ever since, because Stu is in Scream 2, he's in the background playing hacky sack on the college campus. I wanted to see a cult of Stu. I wanted to see people who were so obsessed with the stories. Make Anna Camp's son one of the killers, because he was obsessed with the stab movies and the Scream and everything that happened, right? Make it a cult of Stu, where Stu may or may not still be alive, but people have become so obsessed with him that they want to be like him, emulate him, and start kill. They want to be the one to kill Sidney to honor Stu. I would have liked that arc a little bit better. Um, I am glad the twins came back. I don't like the way they did come back. But as we've talked in recent episodes, Mason Gooding has grown on me significantly. I think he's fantastic. Their back and forth is the best comic relief in the movie. Um, but yeah, Gil coming in like a fucking wrecking ball made no sense. You're like, oh, like I'm sure there were scenes or there were theaters where people cheered. I get that. Like it was cool. Yeah, cool. Made no sense. Um, the killer reveal was my biggest knock. Um, you said you liked that Joe McHale. I loved Joe McHale. He has slowly started to turn for me, especially when he's on game shows. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him on any game shows, but like Celebrity Wheel of Fortune and stuff like that, he does not shut the fuck up. He talks and makes jokes nonstop, and it's so unpleasant. So I enjoyed him being a serious character in this.
That's what he was in the what was it? The soup, talk soup, whatever he used to do.
Oh yeah, talk soup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was just him and scenes from TV shows. This is two other people, a host, and he just would not, he just doesn't shut the fuck up. It's so off-putting. But it was so sloppy that they left him alive. Everybody's dead, 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 dead. Not Joe McHale, though, because we got to have a way out at the end, right? I didn't care for that.
Hmm.
He was definitely the placeholder for Patrick Dempsey, though. Same name, same
Yeah.
job.
She has a type. Sydney definitely has a type. Um, but yeah, like, do I hate this movie? No. Do I love this movie? No. Well, I own this movie. Yes, I'm a completionist. This is still my favorite franchise, I think, like just because the first three are just so good. Um, so I'm still gonna see it. I don't want an eight. We're gonna get an eight. I don't want it. Um, I'm kind of over Sydney, honestly. Like in this one, I'm like, okay,
She
when's
needs to
this gonna
die.
stop? Like it's got to stop, or she's got to die, or she snaps and kills people. I don't know, but I'm
I
not
thought
looking
they were
forward.
going to pass the torch to the other girls, but then they kicked them out of the franchise.
Right. They're doing an eight, but Kevin Williamson's not attached to it at this point. It's two female directors, I think. I don't remember what they are known for, but yeah, they've greenlit an eight because this is the biggest moneymaker in theaters for a Scream franchise, which is it makes sense because horror has taken a turn over the last 20 years, right? Like horror is mainstream now. We love horror. People go see it, they want to be scared. So a new Scream makes sense. It was a money grab. I kind of wish, I mean, they tied in the New York ones a little bit, at least, like with Gail having to take medication, um, and nerve damage. I don't know. It was just, it's hard to describe this movie for me. It's just, it's there. It was a money grab. Like they backed the truck up to Nev Campbell's house, like, please come back because we fired this girl like an idiot and we shouldn't have. So yeah. Also, all you guys who boycotted it because of that, fuck off. Fuck off. No one cares. No one cares. We're still going to see movies we want to see. I don't care if someone got fired. Should she have gotten fired? No, clearly not. But that's not going to make me stop watching this movie or this franchise. So get over your fucking selves. All right, that's it. Let's go around, give our rankings, and close up shop. Let's start with Kellen.
Yeah, terrible opinions by everybody except me and TJ. Sorry that your brains are rotted, useless, and garbage holes. But listening to y'all talk, I was like, you know what would be a great way to do Scream 8? Have Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox be on vacation somewhere together, and it's her daughter. I mean, the past just pass the torch to a new. You can get because I do agree that Nev Campbell is starting to be kind of like at a certain point there, and it's my same issue with the whole Die Hard franchise. Like, how much bullshit can one person get into by themselves?
Well,
Like at a certain point, it
it's
passes
the
on
Kiefer
to
Sutherland 24 effect. It's how
yeah,
many
it's like
bad
it's,
days can one guy have?
yeah. At a certain point, it becomes completely unbelievable that all this stuff keeps happening to this one person. So it would be nice if they were on vacation somewhere and the daughter's in college now and Ghostface shows up and she calls her mom like panicked and you just hear you see Nev Campbell for just a cameo saying, "Honey, you're on your own." Like, and it just, the panic in her face and then the daughter's by herself and now you can shift in a different direction. Um, and maybe reboot the franchise now as like a different kind of thing, maybe more of a
No more.
traditional
No
kind of
more.
slasher. Oh no, they're going to keep making them. It doesn't matter what your
Yeah.
opinion is. They're going to make another Friday the 13th at some point. They'll make a new
Saw.
Nightmare on Elm Street. They'll make another Saw. It is a money grab, and this man made over $200 million. So there's a Scream 8 that's going to happen. There's going to be a Scream 9. Hollywood has run out of ideas because they don't hire writers to come up with ideas. They hire writers to rewrite old ideas because they know they're going to make money, and they don't care about trying to come up with new properties, which is why we do have the benefit of having Neon and A24 as much as we shit on A24. At least they're trying to come up with original scripts and original ideas. Same thing with Neon. They're giving the smaller artists an opportunity to make movies that the bigger studios like Disney and Warner Brothers and Paramount don't want to make because they just want to make money now. All they care about is franchises, names, recognition. So that's where we're at. But all that to say, I didn't hate it. There's no perfect horror film. You can even go back to Halloween. He kills a dog, so you can. It's still not perfect because he killed a dog.
But then we give Signs a 5.
Yeah,
We broke
I mean,
our
you can
rules.
still, but we can
I
still
did.
point out. We can still point out that there's no perfect movie. You name one movie that is perfect, start to finish. There's no dialogue issues.
A
There's no
Serbian
acting
film.
issues.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1.
No, absolutely not.
Hey, it's down. Easy.
Oh yeah, and then Franklin shows up and shit on that whole film.
Franklin's the
Yeah.
worst part of that.
That's
Again,
that's
there's-
but he's an annoying character. That's the point of
Yeah,
it.
which makes it a non-perfect film
Halloween
because
1 a
Franklin
5.
exists in that universe. But my point is that there's always going to be something that somebody can pick apart. It doesn't matter what the movie is. Everybody's going to find reasons to like it and reasons to hate it. And I totally get John's disdain for it because you've milked that cow dry. I think there is no more milk to be had, but we're going to get more dusty, crusty milk when Scream 8 comes out, and we're going to drink it because, like Jay said, we're completionists or we're gluttons for punishment or we've got nothing else to do.
Powdered milk.
All
They'll call
that
them
to
the
say,
Ghostfaces.
yeah, the udders look like Ghostface's mouth, but we'll still suckle at that teat because at the end of the day, we're morbid curiosity. But all that to say, I give this a 3.5.
Yeah, I don't think your idea is bad, the idea of transitioning the franchise. The only negative of that is like Sidney would never do that. Sidney, the character, would never leave her. So it would probably, I mean, I understand they would do it as a way to write her out, but everybody
Or
in
if
the
she
frame
goes
would
off
be-
to college somewhere, far enough
Yeah.
away where Sydney just couldn't run down the street to her.
But as long as I think if she came back at the end as a cameo, right? Yeah, this is Hard Eyes is definitely better in my opinion. It's like a better modern Scream. After watching this, I thought, Radio Silence, they should pay them to come back because I think 5 I actually like a lot. 6 I hated initially, and over time it's kind of like eased up a bit. And I will say 6 to me is better than this. Like, even though it's not, I would not say 6 is good. I would say it's passable. This is just like Kevin Williamson getting paid money and smoking a lot of weed and writing a terrible script with terrible ideas, pointing to a cliched AI bullshit thing in 2026. Gail in this is terrible. Gail in 67, they've like ruined her character. I think if they had guts, what they would have done with this movie is they would have made it like Wes Craven's New Nightmare. They would have made it all meta. They would have had the real actors playing themselves and a real killer's coming after them. If they had guts, they would have done that. And they
That's
don't want
what
to
I
do
was
that.
hoping to God it was, and it wasn't.
And they're not going to do that, sadly. So, man, all I could say is F this franchise. I used to love it. 1 out of 5.
Oh Jesus!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I was just trying to remember what I gave 6, and I believe I gave 6 a solid 3 out of 5. I do like this marginally better than 6, so I will give this also a 3.5 out of 5. And for the reasons that I mentioned, I do believe they should just kill off Courtney Cox's character, Gail. Nev Campbell, she needs to go. Sydney needs to go. They need to pass the buck to either her daughter or bring back Jenna Ortega and the other girl and just figure out something. Enough money can make things happen, and the right people attached to things. Or
That's how you could bring Jenna Ortega back. She goes to school in New York where Jenna Ortega and her
There you
sister.
go.
And now you've got that family, and Nev
Scream's
Campbell's
just
okay
in
with
New
it
York
because she's
now.
got family that can help her or help protect her. And then you could even make them go on the hunt for the ghost face instead of being like, we're gonna wait for him to come to us. Sorry.
Yeah. The kids, they can all get together and
Hmm.
create a new super group of kids. It'll be like the super friends of the Scooby Doo mysteries or
Well,
whatever.
when Kellen followed the idea of vacation, that's exactly what I thought of as the Scooby Doo movie where they go to the island and Sydney in there and Ghostface shows up at the island trying to kill him.
That's not Ghostface. That's old man Mr.
It's
Withers.
Scrappy
Right.
Doo.
Well, that's
Um,
basically I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. That's the same thing that happens there. The island, remember?
Yeah. Oh, I
kinda
remember
that.
because Jennifer Love Hewitt was in a tanning bed. So I give it a 2.5. It's being a little gracious on my end, but that puts us at a 2.6. We'll call it a 3. What I would like to see from this franchise is the Twins spinoff series where they solve mysteries. I would watch the shit out of that.
They have great chemistry. I'd watch that.
Yeah. So their uncle's going to be at Full Moon this weekend when I go. So Jamie Kennedy and Dewey's
He has
there.
a decent podcast now.
Yeah. I feel like he was just defending himself doing blackface on X or the Jamie
Oh,
Kennedy,
yeah.
whatever it was because of that
Yeah.
Drewski skit, but we won't get into that. All right. That's it for this episode. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to wherever you're listening to this podcast. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. We have a Facebook group. We have an Amazon Music playlist as well. Has Red Right Hand on there and some other songs from this flick and others. Signing off. I'm Jay with John, Kellen, and TJ. And until next time.
Keep it spooky.